Racing on Saturday takes place out at Turffontein. We are racing on the inside track. 8 races on the program. Race number 1 gets underway at 12:20. It will be the start of the bipot maiden plate for fillies and mares, 1600 meters. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Raheel. Another meeting up in the half vault again. Small fields, as you mentioned, 8 races on the inside track. A couple of big names that are returning, which we'll get to in a moment. I do think both cards between Hollywoodbets Durbanville and Turffontein on the Saturday probably sets up quite promisingly for the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge. I know the first half of the card in Cape Town looks fairly straightforward, as I'm sure Graham would have described in his half of the Saturday. And then this card, obviously the small fields and potentially the short-priced horses will probably appeal to punters, but yeah, let's hope that we can come through it on the other side.
Race number 1, the favourite is number 4, Fetch in Flyer at 15-10, 28-10, Glamorous Lady, 3-1 TikTok edition, and then it is 6-1 and Better Bar Those. I thought it could just be a 2-horse race between numbers 4 and 8 here. Both horses are improving quite nicely, and I think the 8 will certainly enjoy the step up to the mile. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat here, Raheel. To be honest, Glamorous Lady, when I looked at her form, I had to go back into the reruns and remind myself who she is, this daughter of New Predator. But in the last run to accept Cookie, she finished in front of TikTok Addiction, who's one of the early money horses on this card. And from draw number 1 with expected improvement over number 1 TikTok Addiction, who's had 7 starts, I'd anticipate that Glamorous Lady will hold sway over the Gavin Lorena ride. So I think that sort of takes care of that conversation. I'm interested to see how the Silver Flare form is going to work out. There has already been one direct winner from that form line. I thought Fetching Flyer was open to improve in that last run, which she did when finishing second to Silver Flare. If she continues on that curve, she'll be very dangerous. I don't think it's worth sort of looking around. There's obviously some pretty shallow form bar those horses. Kuramati's been bitterly disappointing. I thought that she'd run a lot better last time than what she did, but she was well beaten by Vulcanite. I'd give her a place chance more than anything else. So 4 and 8 definitely the numbers to work on in the first leg of the bipot. Probably need both horses to be safe, to be fair, on this 8 race card.
Moving along to race number 2, the start of the place accumulator, 12:55, the off time. It's a graduation plate over 1200 meters, and you can scratch number 2, Lincoln Navigator. Number 4, the specialist, is the favorite at 4-10, Mount Pinatubo at 7-2, 7-1. And Better Bar Those. Now, the specialist turned out to be quite an exciting 2-year-old, running second in behind VJ's Angel last time out, and third behind Cosmic Speed 2 starts back. He brings the best form to the table, Alistair, and he should be very hard to beat.
Yeah, he should be, Raheel. 1,200 metres, I suppose, would leave a little bit of a question mark. I know he's won over the trip beating Industrial Strength, but he just acquitted himself so well every time he stepped up in trip during KZN's champion season with MJ Odendaal. He's now changed to Sean Terry. It's always an exciting time when horses like the specialist start to come out. What are the races that he's going to approach? The Grand Beck Stakes and obviously the Dingons in November. Both races in November would make appeal, and possibly even the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas before it tilts to the Triple Crown, and who knows what he'll have in store when we get to Durban. So this is obviously his starting point, and I suppose the pressure wouldn't be on him to win. But at 4-10, the punters will obviously have expectations, and there will be a fair amount of pressure. I think he will win. The PA is my suggested bet. I've obviously played a PA very aggressively, certainly expecting a lot of the short price horses to do the job. The specialist is obviously the starting point of that. I'm keen to see how number 5 Mount Pinatubo goes, because I refuse to believe he's 10 lengths worse than the specialist, as demonstrated Hollywoodbets Greyville in the Premier's Champion Stakes. He's a good-looking horse. He'll be more at home in Joburg, probably more at home on the stand-side track than the inside track. But with that said, I don't really make him a danger, but I do think that he'll show a lot more in the start than what he did in the Grade 1 at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Gold Cup Day. But the specialist stands out head and shoulders, second in a Grade 1, by miles the best form on offer here.
Race 2, number 4, All In at 4-10. Moving along to race number 3, which will be the start of the Pick 6, and this is at 1:30, 1600 meters, the trip. The Cane Train, 11-10, number 9, Jaham at 4-1. It's Roll Off the Dice at 5-1, 7-1, and Better Bar Those. Now, not a lot of form to speak of here, but number 5, the Cane Train, is certainly one that sticks out. Dropping in trip, back to the mile. Gavin Lorena sticks with the ride. That's a huge positive. Gate 4. And he looks to be the right horse in the race and a potential Pick 6 banker. But if you are looking to beat him, could there be opposition?
Yeah, I think they could be in the form number 9, Jaham. Just bumped into Mark de Kock's right-hand man and spoke to him about a whole lot of life at the moment, and he wasn't exactly glowing about number 9 Jaham's chances, but there's got to be some sort of improvement for the son of Kingman, who's very, very well bred. He was terribly one-paced first time out. He looked green as well, but he can only come on with it. I suppose if he doesn't, then he might turn out ultimately to be average. But this field obviously doesn't draw a whole lot of interest as far as I'm concerned, and I think number 5, the Cane Train, dropping in trip, probably looks the right one. I thought he'd be hard to beat last time, especially on his penultimate start by Dual Prophecy. The only reason he is still a maiden is because of pure straight and magic when he rode Dual Prophecy when beating the Cane Train at that penultimate start. Maybe the longer straight at the Val just caught him out last time. Again, he just kind of plodded and as mentioned, might not have got home over 2,000 metres. So I think he'll be more at home. As you mentioned, Gavin Lorena sticking with the son of William Longsword has got to be a good sign. I reckon that would probably be Gavin's recommendation to drop him in trip. He's a place accumulator banker for me. He is close to a pick 6 banker, but if you are looking for backup, I would go with the Dakar course, number 9 Jaham. I don't see anything else troubling them. Maybe number 2 Gamer has some sort of chance, but he is for the very optimistic rather than those that are in my camp that are playing with a bit of a budget.
Next up, race number 4, 2 is the off time. It's an MR 68 handicap over 1,800 meters, and your favorite is number 1 Eiger Sanction at 22-10, along with number 5 Flag Bearer 33-10 Streisand. It's 4-1 Caliburn, and then you can get 8-1 and better par those. Now, Eiger Sanction, he bounced back to winning ways last time out with quite a fluent win over Flag Bearer. Muzieni is the man in the irons once again. He's gone up 5 points for that victory. Draw 1. Can you see this horse going back to back?
I can. I've probably played this race a little bit too conservatively than what I need to, because I've got 1, 2, and 5 in the place accumulator. The only race where I've gone in with 3 horses, obviously with quite a few bankers to come. Purely at the weights, Flag Bearer's got number 1 Eiger Sanction cold, but that is by virtue of the 4 kilo claimer from Girish Samabertia, who is still looking for his first winner. In fact, I was with Robert Moore, the Academy Riding Master, 20 minutes before recording, and apparently the confidence is up from all connections that maybe this kid could have his first win, and Robert's very pleased with how balanced he is, how he rides, and everything else. So maybe that was just an omen sent by the stars that Mr. Moore came and sat with me and chatted to me for a while. 3 runs back, ran second to Ideal Future. Ideal Future very close up second on Tuesday at the Val. Flag Bearer is what he is. I would probably prefer this to be 2,000 meters rather than 1,800 meters, but it is what it is. And he'll run a good race, certainly at the weights. Eiger Sanction, in-form yard, in-form jockey. They absolutely fly at the moment. He warrants a lot of respect. What I saw last time gives him every right of backing up that last win when beating Flag Bearer, even though the weights don't suit him. And number 2, Guerrilla Warfare. I just can't shake this horse off, Raheel. I think that he's probably a bit underappreciated. I know he beat I Belong. It took a while to win his maiden out of that. And his form line hasn't worked out all that well. But he got to within 6 lengths to Mount Pinatubo, who motivating as an above average horse. Danielson takes it out for for St. John Grey. First one is a gelding. I think that he's upwardly mobile. To what extent and turning over a stable companion, I don't know. But I think he'll be in the first 3 here.
That's number 2, Guerrilla Warfare, at around 8-1 in the market. And could be some nice value if you are looking to beat the top 2 in the market. Moving along to race number 5, which will be the start of Jackpot 2. And the 5th race is over 1,200 meters. The fillies and mares 74 handicap, 14.40 the off time. Salunio Peninsula 9-10, Dancing Dora 4-1, along with Mix and Magic, and then it is 8-1 and better bar those. Now, what we saw from this filly first time out was quite encouraging when beating Autumn Bar, who franked the form next time out, and this filly can only improve stepping up in trip. And Alistair, she could be hard to beat here.
Raheel, if she's going to be anything, she should win this, and I think she is expected to be something. To what level, I don't know, but certainly got to be better than a fillies and mare 74. Obviously, with her 3-year-old weight for age allowance, her 86 makes her a net minus 13 kilos. So 73 is her net rating. She is obviously a half sister to Barbaresco, who of course ran so well in the Daily News 2000. Probably didn't quite reach the 2,200 meters of the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but he'll certainly have races to come during the half-volt spring-summer season. And, I think he won a little bit easy in the margin suggested first time out when beating Autumn Var, who, as you rightly mentioned, came out and franked the form. She'll be better over this trip. She takes on tried and tested horses that are in their place. With the fact that she's untapped, unexposed, and expected to go through the divisions, she is a banker in all bets for me. Number 2, Silenio Peninsula.
Yeah, all in race number 2, race number 5 rather, with number 2, and that is Samango Kumalo and Johan Janse van Vuren. And race number 6 next, and this is the Fillies and Mares 91 handicap over the 1200 meter trip. 3:15 is the off time, and here Kumi Boki 13-10, Second Breath 33-10, So Seductive at 9-2, and then it is 6-1 and better bar those. Now here Kumi Boki, she's come to the Highveld, and she's certainly turned her form around in a big way. She's won her last 2 starts with consummate ease. She's gone from a 77 up to a 93. So the handicapper has certainly kept an eye on her, and he gave her an 8-point penalty for her latest victory behind when beating Duenna. But Duenna did come through and frank the form next time out when winning quite a nice race. What do you think? The handicapper's got a measure?
I think she's been winning easier than what the handicap has been doing. I mean, her penultimate win over Ride On, and fine, Ride On is what she is, was out the top draw when winning by 3.5 lengths, and it was as easy the next time. Obviously, the shorter straights at the Turffontein inside track, the change of headgear, and just the surrounds have brought her along. She was always held in high regard. She won, was it Daily News Day, July Day, I want to say that she won on a few years back with Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford, so she's always been above average, but she's absolutely thriving on the Highveld. Now, Cabello's back on board. I do believe there is a push to get her well, I don't know if you'll have to qualify for the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge, but I do believe that is an immediate target for her over a distance that she's won over, and I think that this will bring her along the right way. I think that she's probably still underexposed by the handicapper. He's giving her maximum points, but that's all he can do, and I think that she's been more appealing to the eye than that, and I think that she's got wins to come, and she's probably found the right field. So I've gone in with her as my strong top selection, but if you are looking for a little bit of backup, I think number 6, Queen of Fire, fits the bill, coming back from a break, freshening up, dropping in distance. The family are all sprinters, and she's been trying over 1450, 1600 meters without really being disgraced. She beat Fatal Flaw, who's shown herself to be above average. And off a light weight, number 6, Queen of Fire, I think can be dangerous to an extent. So if you are looking for backup, certainly in pick 6s and jackpot, she could be the answer. But here, Kumi Boki, I think, has just been well placed and probably going to be the one that they all need to beat.
Race 6, number 1, Hirokumi Boki at 13-10, and she could make it 3 in a row. Next up, race number 7, and the 7th race on the program will be run over 1450 meters. This is a Betway Pinnacle Stakes, 1550 the off time, and Unzen is the favorite after quite a fluent win last time out, beaten Main Defender, gone up 4 points for that Pinnacle Stakes win. Gavin Larina aboard once again. Jumps from gate number 3. He's at 12-10, 7-2 Zenovi, 9-2 Sal Bomber, and then it's 11-2 and better bar those. Alistair, this horse Unzen, could he make it back to back, or is Zenovi going to be a big threat?
Zenovi has given a bit of a vote of confidence. I've spoken about him before since Mike de Kock sort of attended to his wind issues and gave him the wind up. He's kind of matured into a very, very nice horse. Probably not quite a grade 1 horse like tried at his penultimate start. But his last run in the Betway Spring Spree was meritorious, 4 lengths behind runaway winner Back in Business when giving him a ton of weight. He's alive, number 2, Zenovi. He's a fit horse. A lot of... I'm probably here in the background that I'm at Rankies at my wife's yard at the moment. A lot of horses are just put away. The winter going's not ideal for a lot of horses, obviously horse sicknesses, etc., etc. So a fit horse at the moment is gold. A horse that's been out there running on those tracks probably a little bit harder than the others. And that's going to set up Zenovi nasty. But is Zenovi a better horse than Unzen over this track and trip? I highly doubt it. Gavin Larina's back on board for Robbie Stage. I think Unzen's going to be very hard to beat. I think this is a happy place. His win over Main Defender, fun, and obviously underdone Main Defender was fluid. You could probably make the same argument for Unzen. Would he have been at the top of his game? He too is likely to be targeting the Joburg Spring Challenge at the start of October, and I think from here it's all systems go. Just a quick admirable word about number 1 Puerto Manzana. I don't expect him to win, certainly not on the inside track of 1450 meters. He was unofficially retired after his last run in the Colorado King Stakes, and when I bumped into Johan Janse van Vuren, it must have been about 6 weeks ago, he said, can you believe a Puerto Manzana He is having the best life in a paddock, and I'm going to put him back into work. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Obviously, no expectations. If he shows that he doesn't want to do it, he probably will be officially retired. And if he does go and run on and take home a minor stake check, then he could have another spin for a few more months. Who knows? But to answer your question, race number 7, banker number 3, Unzen. If you're looking to back him up in the pick sixes and jackpots, number 2, Zanovi is the obvious alternative.
Number 3, Unzen, the top pick here at around 12 to 10. Moving along to race 8, the final race on the day, 25 past 4. It's an MR74 handicap over 1,450 meters. And your favorite in the lucky last is number 3, Golden Pavilion, along with number 4, Coming in Hot, both at 33 to 10. 9 to 2 about Secret Recipe. We'll keep an eye on Willow Express, whether he takes his place, as he was a winner on Thursday out at the Val. It's then forced to do at around 6 to 1 after hours, 8 to 1 and better bar those. Alistair, race number 8, Trappy Contest.
Yeah, one of the harder races on the card, Raheel, but you know, Golden Pavilion has been so frustrating, I think, for everybody. But surely his time is going to come. Gavin Arena takes it. It doesn't often take rides for Alec Laird, but he is here. And have a look at that record over the last 12 months. 8 rides, 2 wins and 4 places. That's a 75% win place record. Not that motivates Golden Pavilion's chances any further, but this horse is just so consistent and banging the crossbar. And he's probably just a confidence horse. And when he eventually gets the job done, he could end up going on a streak. Handicap has helped slightly. That's my main motivating factor here. Down another £2 with Gavin on board. I think that this could well be his day, number 3, Golden Pavilion. I expect him to be in the first 3 at the absolute worst. Number 2, Forced to Do, came out of that maiden, that facile maiden win with an £11 penalty, but he won so easily in just his 3rd run for the new yard. So he's clearly turned the corner. It's going to be uncomplicated from draw 1. He's going to go handy of that, there's no doubt. And what I saw last time out, he's not got his legs tied up either. He could have a few wins to come if the handicap hasn't got stuck into him. All the other horses in this race are probably in that place. After Hours was a horse that I considered, especially with Kamalo back on board. He seems to get the most out of this horse, but After Hours is a very, very funny horse. He's got absolutely no running. You got to smutch, you got to wait, you got to hold your cards close to your chest, and if Samanga can do that, then maybe number 8, After Hours, can be effective. But he's a maybe. 2 and 3, definitely the 2 horses to focus on in my book.
Yeah, forced to do at around 6 to 1, and then you've got number 3, Golden Pavilion, at around 33 to 10 in the market. We're going to move along to the suggested bet. Alistair will take us through suggested bet for racing on Saturday out at Turffontein, and it is a place accumulator which begins with the running of race number 2 at 12:55. Alistair, take it away.
Yep, so as mentioned, obviously not a big spend on this card. Banker number 4, the specialist, in the first leg, by banker number 5, the Cane Train, in the second leg, by 3 horses in the third leg, which is race 4, 1 Eiger Sanction, 2 Guerrilla Warfare, and 5 Flag Bearer, by banker number 2, Salinio Peninsula, by 2 horses, numbers 1 and 6 here, Call Me Bookie and Queen of Fire. I would right now probably be comfortable bankering number 1 here, Call Me Bookie, but I've just got a bit of backup in the hope of doubling up, because I don't expect here, Call Me Bookie, to miss the first 3 anyway. By banker number 3, Unzen, by 2 and 3, Forced to Do and Golden Pavilion.
That is Alistair Cohen's place accumulator. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. Have a wonderful weekend and all the best.
Chodri Hill, yep, looking forward to the weekend. Obviously, sadly, no Premier League football. We've got an international break, which just breaks the momentum. But looking forward to the Springboks versus the All Blacks at the DHL Stadium in Cape Town on Saturday. Sadly, I won't be attending because duty calls at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but that should be a spectacle. It always is. And, hopefully the Boks can do us a favour after we catch 2 pick sixes and win the Hollywoodbet Punters Challenge.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Isi Vungu Vungu is back in action at Colonial Downs out in the USA, and that race will be brought to you on Gallop TV, so you can catch Isi Vungu Vungu's first run in the United States of America. All the best with racing on Saturday. Hopefully you manage to find a few winners along the way.